So with a few quick practice problems here, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. If we're going to find the perimeter in the area of in this case, a triangle, it's just really important that you're able to find these sides. So again, anything that is horizontal or vertical, you can just count those. So be careful of all the little boxes here. This is just really from -3 over to 2 is actually just 5. So don't count the little boxes. You're counting them, in this case, it's the big ones. So this is 5. From +2 all the way down to -4, that's going to be 6 if we count it. So really, actually, with that information, you can find your area right now. Because your area, if you remember, is just your base times your height. And your base and your height, like we talked about in the first video, is always going to be your two lengths. So my area here is actually 5 times 6 divided by 2. So in this case, 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 units squared. And the only additional component that we need for the perimeter, because the perimeter is just adding them all together, so 5 plus 6, is we need that last side. We need the distance from here to here. So we can still use the Pythagorean theorem, like we've always done, 5 squared plus 6 squared, and then take the whole square root of that. So if we have 5 squared plus 6 squared, that's going to be 25 plus 36, which gives me 61, right? Square root of 61. And that's not going to simplify nicely, so we're just going to leave it as square root of 61. And now we can add them all together. So square root of 61 plus the 5 plus the 6 gives me approximately 18.8. So there you go. We found the perimeter, 18.8 units. That's the perimeter of our triangle. So just a quick example there. I want you to try the same thing here. Just want you to notice in this case that our base and our height, this is my base, this is my height. Those are your legs. So find the perimeter in the area of that triangle. Oops, wrong button. So from there, I want you to try on number 3. Same idea, except you want to do a couple different things. There's 2 options for you here. First option would be your base and your height. Your base and your height would be these guys, right? That's actually a right angle up there. So you could find those two to find your perimeter. You'll have to eventually find those to find your perimeter. Or another option, since you have this isosceles triangle, is you could do something we've done earlier in the unit, and we could drop a line straight down the middle. And that would be the height of your triangle. So the height of our triangle would actually be 3. And the base, going from 1 all the way to -5, would be 6. So your area in this case is just going to be base times height. So 6 times 3 divided by 2, right? So 6 times 3, 18. 18 divided by 2 gives us 9, right? So 9 units squared. For the perimeter, we've already got our 6, but you now need to find these 2 lengths as well. So try that out, practice what we've been doing. Last question is a parallelogram. And in this case, we can count some of these. We can count the length of these guys, right? And those are fine, but we'll have to do a little bit of math to practice, not practice, but a little bit of math to actually calculate the distance of our leaning or our diagonal lines. Okay, so that's for perimeter. For the area, again, we know the base already. The base of our triangles, of our parallelogram is actually, let's see, 3 plus 6 more. So this is 9, it looks like. Oh, that was plus 7 more. So it's 10, okay? And then the height of it, actually, if you just pick one of our top points and draw a line straight down, that's the height, and we can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the height of our parallelogram is 6. So in this case, it's just 10 base times height times 6. And we don't divide by 2 because it's not a triangle, it's a parallelogram. And that leaves me with 60 units squared. Okay? So try out the perimeter. Perimeter we know already is going to eventually be something, it's going to be 10 plus 10 plus 2 more things. All right, I'm going to let you figure that out. The 10 and the 10 come from these guys, but we need to figure out what the neon green ones are. So just a bit more practice for you today on perimeter and area with our different shapes on a coordinate plane. Hopefully that's starting to sink in and make sense.